Here you are. You've got a minute to live. Someone's got a gun to your head. You're about to be executed. What? What's next?
Numb, empty, tired, feeling so much like a shell of a person. There's no enthusiasm, no drive, no ambition, no real desire for any experience, save for perhaps the cessation of all experience. It's been kind of at the front of my mind for some time now, this question of that comes to me in these times of feeling this way. Question that I ask myself, which is there really anything, any single thing that I can think of that I would actually want to be doing right now? And there isn't really. I don't want to be doing anything. I don't, as I did in my past, raise up upon a pedestal the idea of some sort of ideal state or experience that I could be having, wherein all these negative feelings would dissipate, would be banished, and I would be enjoying life. That I would really be savoring, valuing the experience of living, of being. But I've sort of slowly transitioned into this point now, this perspective wherein I suppose very much comprehend that that's, or rather I at least frame such as being just a trap, a pitfall that so many people fall prey to, a pitfall that people, myself included, may very well have fallen prey to for just a indefinite number of lifetimes prior to this, if we're gonna, entertain this reincarnation idea. It at least is subtly in line what I just said with stuff I've come from in my readings of Buddhism and so on, that it's our craving, our desire for some better state, that an escape from suffering that perpetuates suffering, the desire to be free of pain perpetuates pain, because we don't see that it's this, that desire itself is basically the issue. The clinging, the craving, the scheming. It's all just treading water in a pool of shit. And we would be better off, far better off, just abandoning all hope, writing off this whole project altogether. And I don't mean by erasing ourselves, self-deleting, because that itself is feeding into the same thing. It's a I guess it's sort of an intention. It indicates intentionality, right? We're acting in some way to get away from one thing in the hopes of getting to some better thing, at least implicitly. But writing off the whole project then of being is more something that's done in spirit. It's consists more of apathy, of indifference. I see it kind of like, I mean, there are parallels to how one should be, or how it is often said one should best deal with a sort of a toxic person, right? Kind of narcissistic, histrionic, or dark triad type person, right? And that's just to ignore them. And life, existence is a kind of toxic situation. And it's feeding upon our attention, our active involvement and concern within it. At least we can make the comparison there, right? I think you can see it. And so perhaps the best way of dealing with that is to just ignore it, not feed into it, not give it our attention or any of our energy whatsoever. And I don't really feel that it is worth our time, our investment, our energy. At least this is my experience, and I don't even know if it's necessary to make that disclaimer. I think you get, I'm the one talking here, right? Of course I'm talking about my experience, my perspective, or whatever. I just kind of find myself in this position, at least anyway. It's not even on my part something that's I can make any kind of claims as claims about kind of having applied myself in this way. I have rather been provoked to act in such a way. I really do feel that I'm just an effect. I'm a consequence of my environment. And there's no way to get out of that. Mm. Yeah, the line came into my head there. Not a line, but just a phrase, just to sort of sum up my thoughts about this matter was the kind of ellipses and the futility of futility itself and ellipses. It's a very kind of like something Fernando Pessoa would write. The futility of futility itself. And everything is just tedium